Hi folks, it's DC here from DC's Gadgets. Today is November the 30th. It is Saturday. Friday I bought myself a new compound miter saw, sliding head miter saw. It wasn't a Black Friday deal, just I wanted one. And I had a coupon and a gift card for Harbor Freight. But when I went to mount it to my stand, it wouldn't fit. So I'm modifying the bracket. This is where it's really nice having access to a Mazak when I need one. So I've got the part in the Mazak, and there's existing holes. I'm going to pick up the existing hole as my zero. So that little thing in the middle is an edge finder. And if you notice, there's a split toward the bottom of that thing. When the split moves, that means you touch the edge. So I'm going to set the edge at 0 on one side of the hole, and then I'll go and I'll move the x-axis the opposite way. When it moves again, kicks over, that tells me I'm on the opposite side. So it kicked over there. I'll back it up until it's right at the edge of almost kicking over, and then I'm going to move it the distance. So I'm showing on the x-axis 190 thousandths, which means the center of the hole is going to be 0.095. So I'll move it to 0.095, and then we'll do the same thing with the y-axis. Move the table side to side until the edge finder kicks over. It's just kicked over there. Bring it back right to the edge. So that's my 0 point on the y-axis. I just give it a 0 there. And we'll move it across until it kicks over again. Okay, so it's kicked over right there. We go back until it's right at the edge. So I'm showing 195 on the screen. So it's going to be like 97.5 thousand. So I'll just hit 97. That'd be close enough for the stuff I'm trying to do. So now I've got my edge finder in the center of the hole. All I need to do is touch the top of the plate, and it gives me my z-axis. So this is the program. I just go ahead and teach it. I'm going to workpiece measure and then hit teach. I'll tell it that's my x0. And do it again, teach it for my y0. And I'll come down and touch the top of the part with the probe, and it'll be my Z. So I touched it off, and I went to run the program, and it actually didn't run. It gave me an error because I did something, forgot something. And we'll go back and look at the program. Some people kind of find these programs interesting. I'm overdubbing this because when I first did this, there was so much noise in the shop that it was really bad. So I'm re-recording while I watch the video. So here's the program. It's in Mazatrol. And we start out on machining aluminum. And then the initial Z is 3 inches, which means it's going to pick up the tool and it's going to stop 3 inches above the part before it does anything else. And the next line is my X, Y, and Z 0 locations in reference to the machine. And then in circular mill, I'm going to cut a hole 320 thousandths diameter, 390 thousandths deep. And the number 1 tornado means it's going to spiral down as it cuts, so it's not a straight down hole. And I'm using a 1/4 inch end mill to make the hole. 650 surface feet per minute, it's about 10,000 RPM, 1.5 thousand. So what it means is I'm going to use a 1/4 inch end mill to make a 320 thousandths hole by making a spiral pattern down. I could use a drill bit, but the end mill was already in the machine and it's like drilling it. And then I'm going to make a slot 3/8 of an inch deep because that's how deep my material is. I'm going to go 390 wide, so a 3/8 inch bolt will fit through it. And I'm using a 310 end mill, which is actually a 5/16 end mill. And the error I had was I didn't give it a type. It didn't tell me if it was going to be clockwise or counterclockwise rotation. So I'm going to get counterclockwise so I have a climb milling pattern. So now my program's all set. We'll go ahead and let it run. Now I've got the machine set for 25% on rapid moves, so it moves relatively slow. It changes tools pretty fast, but it doesn't go across the part very rapidly. So right now I'm just spiral milling down. Because I'm spiral milling down, not drilling, it's going to take a little bit longer than normal. But like I said, I didn't feel like putting a drill bit in there. It was already loaded with a 1/4 inch end mill, which is simple to do a circular mill pattern. And the reason I'm putting a hole in it, I don't want to plunge in. When I'm making my slot, I don't want to plunge the end mill in at the beginning or the end of the slot. So I'm putting a hole there first. My end mill goes into clear space as it goes down, and the hole is smaller. The hole is 320, the slot's going to be 390, and the end mill is 312, so there's clearance all the way around. And I'm not going super fast because you notice there's a lot of material hanging out both sides of the vise. If you go super fast with the end mill with all that material hanging out, it's liable to chatter and give you a lousy finish. So I'm kind of conservative in how much I'm cutting and the cutting speed and cutting depth. So that's the new end mill, 5/16 end mill, cut in a slot. It's going to take, I think, 6 or 7 passes across to cut the slot, and it will go the opposite side. And I'll turn the speed up to 100%, so you see how fast this thing moves in a rapid move. Rapid move. This machine, I think it maxes out at about 260 inches per minute, somewhere between 260 and 300. I'm not sure, but yeah, that's how fast it'll go from each motion to the next motion. Typically, we don't move that fast on most parts. You'd never cut that fast. Although there's times I've actually made cuts on some pretty big parts that are well locked down to the table, running 200 inches in and across the part, which is pretty awesome to watch chips fly at that speed. Alright, so we're all done. There's the part with 2 slots in it, and we'll mount it on the thing and I'll show you what it looks like. So here are the modified brackets all mounted up. Put slots where these bolts go. Kind of strange, the original was offset too, but this it's a Harbor Freight table stand and a Harbor Freight saw. You'd figure they'd match up, but they don't. The back ones are a little closer than the front ones. So that's why I made the slots. That way, either front or back, you go front or back. But works fine. You can see that I've made some cuts with it. So very convenient having access to the Mazak when I need it. Making some stuff, getting ready. We're gonna have a club build day here in 2 weeks. So getting some stuff ready. The one thing I miss on my old saw, I had a stop right there. I had this. The adjustable stop I could slide out for different lengths. So sometime here in the next week or so I'll make a new one. This is a different diameter rod, so can't do that. I'll just I'll find some 3/8 rod at the shop. I'll make another block so I can make the adjustable stops. It's kind of nice because we make all the fronts the same size, so I can set this thing for either 12 inches for the 8 frame or I think it's 14. I have to look at my notes. It's like 14 something for your 10 frames. You set the stop and you cut all your front and back, and then you go to 19 7/8 and you set the stop and you do all your sides. So I will get that set up in a couple days. That's it.